welcome to another weekly vlog. It's Tuesday. I'm in my normal place, which I really need to stop recording in, but I never get a minute. It sounds weird, but I never get a minute to record at home. I'm always doing something. So yesterday, I knew I had a few badges for Scouts to envelope up, including the Gold Scout Award badges, and I like to print out a little congratulations thing and put it on the envelope. So I was doing that. I did mention that on the Friday night when I was at the thing that the Scouts leaders had a planning meeting, which I was not at. Well, someone very clearly forgot to bring the existing programme of events to the planning meeting. So what did they do? They done an entirely new programme of events, left out loads of interesting events like archery, which I was really looking forward to, replaced it with things like can't cook, won't cook. There's 3 cooking weeks, 4 hiking weeks, then there's Ballyhorning weekend away, which none of them have realised. Eugene, the group leader over everyone, sent a list of dates that would clash with stuff. Now obviously I looked at the list of dates and I've noticed that the weekend that they've chosen to go away to Ballyhorning Scout Camp is the same weekend that a communion falls. And obviously if you're Catholic and practicing Catholic, communion's a massive deal. It's where the little girls wear the white dresses and the boys wear the suits. And it's a whole family event. There's usually a party. So even though our Scouts are too young to be doing communion, brothers or sisters probably will be, which means that weekend probably lots of the kids won't be able to go, and that's the weekend they've picked for the weekend. Nobody has any organisation to say, oh, let's get this list of dates that we don't want to coincide with. Let's remember at the planning meeting where we're planning the programme for the rest of the year, let's bring the programme with us that we've already planned. And the upshot of that was Scouts have a computer system, and I've entered the programme into the computer system, and for every week I've assigned all the little bits of badges that will be covered that night. So some nights you could have up to 10 to 12 parts of badges. So alright, can't cook, won't cook, we'll do a little section of the outdoor challenge, it will do a little section of the chef, it will do a little section of the teamwork. So it's a lot of work to go through and do that. They've changed the whole fucking programme, so I thought I was just going in to make a few tweaks. I had to go in and change for the whole rest of the term up to June. I had to go in and change every single week, remove all the badges, add all the new badges, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, hang on, that's half-term week. Why have they written that we're hosting a district uni hockey event in February? We're meant to be off on the 13th because I have booked tickets for us to go and see Fright Club's screening of The Shape of Water. And I remember clearly, I'm like, oh, that's half-term week, Scouts aren't on that week. So uni hockey is sometimes you host events for all the other district to come to, and we've got a really big hall, so we were hosting the uni hockey on the 20th of February it was planned for. I obviously have all this stuff written down, I know all this stuff. I remember the conversation on WhatsApp, and she has changed it, uni hockey, to the 13th. I'm like, we're meant to be off that week. And she had put a week off 2 weeks after, saying off as not off at half term, and I'm thinking, well, why has she changed it? And I've went to the thing that's been sent out by the district, and I happened to notice that on the spreadsheet it says Ballymena hosting district uni hockey February, but on the spreadsheet it was on line 13. It wasn't the 13th, it was on line 13. She has assumed this has meant the 13th. I tried to explain this to her, she didn't understand what I was saying. So alright, well, I'll contact them and tell them to change it then. And I'm thinking, but you don't need to tell them to change it because they haven't said it's the fucking 13th, you've got it wrong. But she contacted them, oh, you've got us down as the 13th for the uni hockey, we're off that week, can you change it to 20? And they're right, no problem. And I'm like, but they hadn't got it down for the 13th, you fucking read the form wrong, you silly cow. So it's just constant changes to no issue with, that was all well planned. You know, and you know what it is, the stuff that they were meant to be doing this next month, like the archery, nobody's bothered their arse to book it. Now the person that decided that's what they wanted to do, it's up to them to have done that. Nobody has. So they've had to move it, and it's like, it's just so frustrating. So anyway, the reason I was telling you that, it's not just for the opportunity of a good bitch. Yesterday afternoon, I got up, I'm exhausted at the minute, got up, 12 o'clock, I had a cup of coffee, I had a protein milkshake, it wasn't even a milkshake, it was a protein shake with water. I got sat down to do the scout stuff. I finished the scout stuff at about, let's say you got back at what, 5:30? I finished the scout stuff at about 5, and then I thought, right, I'll start to edit last week's vlog. I was editing last week's vlog, in they come. Now, I knew there was something due for Isaac's moving image arts for Monday. I thought it was for Tuesday. Turns out it was, a text came through Monday night from the teacher, Google Classroom, which Isaac never fucking checks. Remember, blah blah blah, due for tomorrow. And I'm thinking, oh fuck. So I've texted Isaac, I've texted Darren, and I've said, this is due.
He's going pictures here.
Right. This is due for tomorrow. This is me Sunday night in bed. Tell Isaac in the morning to say to his teacher, just be honest, I haven't done it, can I have an extra day? And Isaac's to his dad, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing, I'll be fine, I'll be able to do it, blah blah blah. Told me the same thing, I've done most of it we're doing it in class.
Or if it's just sit with him and do it right from the start, we'll go through it.
So he went to the teacher, we told him. Apparently loads of them hadn't done it, but they tried to hide it. But because Isaac says, because he went to him at the beginning of the day and was honest, he didn't get any negative points, but the other kids did. I don't know if that's true or not. So he came home and we had to sit and do it. Turns out Isaac's done jack shit. What he had to do was, they're given this script which is a page long. All it is this guy looking for his phone. And they have to do planning, like 9 columns or 8 columns. There's like type of shot, angle of shot, movement of shot, description of scene, audio, lighting, location. And they said we want a minimum of 35 to 40 shots, so they have to basically plan out how this scene would look, how they would film it, what noise we're hearing in the background, how the scene's lit, what angle, movement and type of shot it is. We had to start that from scratch for 40 fucking lines. We ended up doing 36. Isaac, if it was left to him, would have had about 20 odd. He done the whole thing, he started it, I sent him into the kitchen to do it. His laptop broke, that was another fantastic thing last night. So his laptop's fucked, that's another few £100 to replace that. I had to do it on mine. It was in there at least an hour and a half. I said, what are you doing? He'd done about 9 lines out of like 35 to 40. And I looked at it, I says, Isaac, why have you written a description of what's happening under the line where you're meant to say what type of shot movement it is? Oh. So the long story short, I had to take it off him and sit down with him, go through it all, correct his mistakes. I haven't done moving image arts, I don't know what I'm fucking doing, but I could see errors left, right and fucking centre. And we finished it at 9:30 last night. So from about 12:30 yesterday afternoon to 9:30 last night, I was sat with a laptop on my knee doing something or other for some other fucker, and I had to go through his English book because something came up in Google Classrooms. Make sure that you've done all these annotations in your novel, they all have to be up to date. I'm saying, Isaac, is that up to date? Yes. Let me see it. Looked at it, hadn't done half of it, had to sit and go through 35 pages highlighting and writing notes. This is something that's going to come up in their GCSE. It's a novel of mice and men that they're reading, and every chapter she gets them to highlight stuff, and you know, it'll say things like similes used here for this reason. He'd got highlighted all in orange, she had got yellow, orange, green and pink, 4 colours. So I had to do all that, and then my uncle started text. Fuck. I've also got statements from scouts that were sent through that I need to go over, and I have to finish the gifted. Marcus has okayed me to send the gift aid off, so I'm doing it. So I have to do that. That'll be tomorrow's job. I don't get paid for any of this. So my uncle starts texting. My aunt's 60th is next month. Fine, I like my aunt. Want to go to the do. They wanted to do it the weekend of the 20th, 21st. My uncle can't do that because he's away. Oh, well, what about the next weekend? Now, my brain didn't work because they kept putting up 27th of Feb, 27th of Feb. And I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem, the Saturday. It was only later that evening I realised that the day after the 27th, why you kept saying the 27th, I've no idea, when it was the 28th he wanted to do. It's Isaac's birthday. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, we'll be there. And then, after that, he says, I was thinking, he came out of the full WhatsApp group and then WhatsApped me privately and said, I didn't want to put this on the group, but I was thinking for their present now, taking into consideration their present, my aunt, her husband and their daughter, of paying for their flights between, and then he listed him, my dad, two of my uncles, one of the uncles was left out for some reason, and me.
Yeah, you're the only one from the lower generation.
I'm the only niece stroke nephew. There's like about, I'd say there's about 10 adult nieces and nephews, including me. I'm the oldest, but you know, there's ones in their 40s and their 30s, ones with really good jobs. I'm not working. I don't have much money. It's Isaac's birthday weekend.
One's an airline pilot.
Yeah, one's a pilot, for fuck's sake. I have to now replace a laptop. I have to get Isaac's birthday sorted. My dad's birthday's tomorrow. Darren's birthday's at the end of January. And he's expecting me to chip in and help pay for flights for 3 people.
The rest of it as well.
And this meal, then it occurred to me, hang on, my family drink like fish. I mean, they throw the drink down their neck. This meal, I would imagine, when people go out for a meal, the bill comes and it's split between however many people are at the table, which I don't particularly like, because I don't mind if it's food, fine. I don't want to pay for someone to drink 5 pints or cocktails.
5 pints? You're joking?
Well, I don't know.
The Christ, on a birthday
During a meal.
Yeah, but pints before, pints during and pints after, you're looking probably about 8 pints each.
So, and there's not only that, obviously Russian's not going to pay for hers, it's her birthday. So there's hers to cover. Now, I don't mind going out for something to eat and cover and part. There's my dad.
Where's what?
Right, he knows I come in today. Where the hell's he going? Maybe going to the chapel for some reason. I have no idea. Just past my dad walking up towards, on a day that he knows I come in. No idea. Should I drive back up?
No, wherever he's going, by the time he gets there and gets back, he's going to be at least half an hour, if not longer.
So I now have to say to my dad, right, are you on for this? And I'm expecting him to say, no, I don't want to do it, because he doesn't want to even celebrate his own birthday.
But you're going to have the flight thing to pay for, the meal thing chip in to pay for, going towards what people
And
do.
then it'll look like I haven't bought her a present.
Standard pub price is now 30 quid a head regardless,
Pub?
without booze.
It might be a restaurant.
Well, Jesus Christ.
I've no idea.
And then people start going, oh, well, we're best buy a present as well, and a present on top of that. So,
Well, I'm going to have to just text Chris and say, look, I'm a bit worried, and I can't afford to pay for meals for us all and a flight. I'm a bit concerned that people, you know, I'll be paying for people's drink and stuff. Anyway, I'll speak
and
to
I
him.
won't be drinking, and you won't be
No,
drinking.
and Isaac's obviously, you know, he'll be included as a head.
Do you remember that one in Nottingham? When it was supposed to be occurring, I forget how much it cost us now. It was like, what? And they're all chucking cocktails and wine and pints in Indian takeaway. It's like, what
That was
for
a
pen?
workplace that I used to work at. Right, I'm going to go. I'm fed up bitching. I shall check in with you guys later.
Product placement.
Right, this is Molly's latest position to stare at me because she wants feeding. She's not due feeding for a number of hours. She's already been fed twice today. There's Dobby watching. Molly has moved multiple times around this room to stare at me from different angles. This is the current position. Nope, it's not time yet. It's not. Not even close. I'm editing last week's vlog at the minute. After doing an afternoon of bloody scout shit, which I'll complain about later when I get a bit of time. There, Kira's enjoying herself. She's getting some frustrations out on that. Look, it's working for a change. We've got a new big ball pool. Why is none of this when I was at school? I can see a Sophie, and I can see a Kira. We're at Honeybee's playtime. 1, 2, 3. We did it! This one fell asleep. This hat on, fully dressed. Honest to God. I've had to switch his phone off because there's a video call going off constantly from some girl. Let's see what happens if I... Honestly. So I said to Kira today, Sophie's mum, I said, have you applied for Sophie's primary school place yet? Because I remember having to do it quite far in advance. No. And I said, I'm sure we had to do it like ridiculously far in advance. And I looked up for her. And the application's opened on the 7th of this month. This is the 15th. And applications close on the 21st. So she's getting on it, but she hadn't. And Sophie wouldn't get a place if she doesn't. So thank God I asked. I've been watching Traitors though, and I've been really enjoying Traitors. There's a woman from Northern Ireland on it. And at first, I'm always complaining that there's never representation from here. And if there is, it's one person. What you tend to get, it used to always be people from the South and Midlands. You get maybe a token Northerner, and that used to annoy Darren. But now, Yorkshire seems to have taken over the TV. There's the Yorkshire Vets, there's the Yorkshire Farm. There's the Yorkshire, I'm sick looking at fucking Yorkshire, to be quite honest. I lived in it for 10 years, I love it, don't get me wrong, but everything is Yorkshire this, Yorkshire that, Yorkshire the other. It's trendy at the minute for some reason. But so you get loads of representation from all over England, and if you're lucky you'll get one Welsh person, one Scottish person and one Northern Irish person, and to me that's really unfair. If you have a cast of like 15 people and only 3 of those aren't from England, it really fucking winds me up. But this year there's 2 from Northern Ireland. The first ever time there's been more than one person on a show from Northern Ireland. There's generally not anybody. But at first I didn't like the woman. I thought, I don't warm to her. But now I've come completely around. I actually like her now. I'm not going to tell you anything about Traitors because you might not have seen it. You might be behind in it. But it's been really good. The past few episodes have been really, really good. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. What else can I tell you? Tomorrow night I'm back at Scouts. We're doing fucking paper planes. They're teaching them about aerodynamics and build, like what you need to do to get the paper plane to fly the furthest kind of thing. So we're doing that. The Explorers upstairs will be doing a music night. Isaac's bringing his friend Steve in. They're bringing their electric guitars and their amps. So I'd much rather be up there doing that. But no, I'm downstairs. I sat yesterday and transferred the entirety of 4 years worth of gift aid onto the official government form. All I have to do is check for a couple of forms in the office, get an address off Eugene, and it's ready to go. I've taken out all of the entries of people that haven't returned their gift aid forms, which probably a couple of grand's worth of subscriptions. But the amount of money, the amount of subscriptions that are being put in for gift aid, and you can claim a quarter of this back, is, hang on, because I worked out, they're going to, when this goes through, there's about £4,500 back in gift aid into the Scouts account, which will pay for equipment, it will pay towards holiday. It's going to be amazing. So what's that? So if you multiply, it's about 18 grand's worth of subscriptions I've put into this spreadsheet, and then it wouldn't allow me to submit it because you have to have government gateway ID set up for the organisation and all this shit. So the treasurer's going to have to do that, and I am going to be mightily fucked off. All he has to do is sign in and send the fucking form that I've fully completed. He never does things when he's meant to. And then we're constantly losing because, like, I had to take loads of 2021 off because now that's 5 years ago. So we're just losing money hand over fist. So yeah, I've got that all done, ready to go in. So life's pretty boring apart from that. It was nice to see Kira and Sophie today for soft play. Get her applied for primary school, get that sorted. But yeah, nothing much else happening. It's really cold here at the minute. I think that's the reason I'm struggling with pain to a massive degree. But I've filmed Isaac. I'll put it in. Hopefully I'll remember to not put it in before. I've went in. He's going to Stephen's after school tomorrow. Darren has to drop his guitar and amp in tomorrow morning to Stephen's house. He's at the vets with Molly anyway, so he's going to do it when he's in. Then Isaac's going straight to Stephen's house so they can practice for this performance at Scouts. And then he's having a sleepover at Stephen's after. I have to go collect them, take them to Scouts, and then leave them back, and then bring all his crap home, like his uniform, his school bag, and bring his sleepover stuff with me. well, yeah, so I've gone upstairs, I've went into his room to get his shoes to put in a bag, which he'd forgotten to do, and like a blanket and pillow and stuff for him. And he's asleep in bed, fully dressed, with a beanie on. His phone's going mad, his phone's like buzzing and buzzing and buzzing, and it's on the front of the phone, you can see it's some girl called Antonia, video call. And I'm trying to switch the phone off for it to charge. And every time I try to switch it off, zzz, 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 and then it stopped for 2 seconds, and then I'd be pressing the button on the side trying to switch it off, zzz, zzz, and it worries me when people do that. It's like a persistent, I'm going to call you, then I'm going to call you, I'm going to call you, I'm going to call. It's like, what's wrong with you, love? He's a 14-year-old boy. Leave him the fuck alone. So I'm going to have to say to him tomorrow, who's Antonia? And tell it, you know, be careful of her, you know. It's obsessive. It was just, she would ring and it would ring for ages and then it would stop and then she'd ring immediately again. And this was going on the entire time I was in the room picking up bits and pieces for put in a bag. But he's fallen asleep in bed with a light on, a beanie on, fully dressed in the bed. And this girl's just constantly video calling him. So eventually I actually eventually had to reject the video call. I was trying not to press anything. And she just wouldn't stop ringing. I couldn't get the phone switched off and she was just ringing and ringing, and I'm thinking she's going to wake him up. So I've switched it off, and so it's going to look like he has declined her video call, so I'll have that to explain tomorrow. But I'm going to say to him, I'll tell his dad because I won't be up when he leaves, I'll say, tell him, whoever Antonia is, to, what, you know, wind her neck in, for fuck's sake. It reeks of desperation, and she should not be calling you at 11:30 at night persistently on a video call. That explains why he's changing into half a dozen fucking outfits in his bedroom every night. But yeah, so that's what's happening. I'm going to put I've got this sleepy stuff. I still put my Lush sleepy stuff on, but this is something I got in that Marks and Spencer's. Lotion relaxante pour les mains et le corps. Relaxing lotions for your hands and your body. I know that much from GCSE French. As a matter of fact, I took A-level French for 1 year and I dropped out of it because it was doing my head in. I always put it round about here, or like a décolletage, because I put the sleepy stuff all around here, just anywhere where I can actually smell it to try and help me sleep. I go to bed reeking of lavender, honest to God. Just anything to help me sleep. I got this hemp oil. So pity they didn't have the bloody stuff that's in cannabis in it, the CBD thing. But they take out the thing that's really good. But apparently hemp oil, even without the good bit, obviously I don't smoke, so I wouldn't like be able to smoke a joint or something because I don't smoke. Darren tried once to cook some in brownies, but all you could taste was cannabis. It was disgusting and the whole house reeked. And I'm like, if anybody comes into this house, they're going to think we're a fucking drug den in here. But it's supposed to be really good for fibro pain and for helping you sleep. So I got the stuff that you get in like Holland and Barrett and stuff. I bought it online. It's hemp oil and you put it under your tongue. And I had it last night and I think it helped a little tiny bit. And I've had a little bit tonight as well, and I've got that. So anything natural for me to help myself sleep, honest to God. Something else, yes, my forehead. I have noted, now you can see there in the light how bad it is. It's because I'm always doing that. I like, when I'm talking, my eyebrows are constantly going up. Some people have them here from frowning a lot. I have them here from doing this a lot. And I'm definitely going to look at getting some sort of, darn, I'll kick my fucking arse, of some sort of filler in this with money I got for Christmas. I'm going to go and have a consultation about it to see how much it is, because when I'm wearing makeup, I've tried not putting powder on. I've tried just having like foundation. That's the air freshener thing. And everything just settles right into these lines and oh, it's hideous no matter what I do. So I'm going to see. I would grow a fringe, but I don't suit a fringe. It makes my face look so fat. I mean, my face doesn't need much help to look fat, but when I have a fringe, I just do not suit it. So if that was an option, I would go down that route because it's cheaper and just easier, isn't it? But no, a fringe is not for me. You'd think, you know, because my forehead's quite big, maybe if I was to lose, I don't think I could lose a lot of weight. I mean, I put about 3/4 of a stone on over Christmas. I've lost about a quarter. I would say I'm still half a stone over what I was before Christmas, which I'm not panicking about because I know I'll, you know, when the weather gets a little bit better, I won't be so bad. I'll be able to move about a bit more and I won't feel like troughing and eating constantly. But if I was to be slim around the face, maybe a fringe wouldn't be so bad. I don't know, but... And then I keep getting tempted to, this is ridiculous, of going back to dark hair, like dark brown. And then I think, but you tried so hard for so long to get it this colour. And then I'm like, but maybe it looked better, the colour it was. Because Kira, who lives opposite me, her hair's naturally dark brown, but she has dyed it, she's had it done blonde. And I think it's so much nicer dark. It suits her so much nicer. Right enough, she's more than 10 years younger than me. But I don't know. I know if I were to ask Darren, he prefers it dark. But I'm very conscious as I get older that I think an older person with very dark hair, it ages them, I think, more. So I don't know. I would love to just be one of these people that was completely silver or white so I could dye it like bubblegum pink or lilac or something and just not worry about it. But I've just got that salt and pepper streaky grey and dark hair that is just really hard to do anything with. And I don't know what to do. It's like, do I do away with all the work of getting it this colour? But then when the hairdresser does it and when I come out and it's like bright orange, I love it. When she has straightened it and it's all nice and sleek, it's like I feel really good about it. But when I'm not at the hairdresser, but then I feel shit about my hair no matter what colour it is. I just have such frizzy, coarse hair. I'd love to have smooth hair, you know, like hair like Asian people have. Or if not that, if it has to be coarse like this, why can it not be curly rather than frizzy? You know what I mean? Right, anyway, I'm talking shite now. I'm going to go try and get a bit of kip. I'll switch you on tomorrow night when we're on our way to Scouts. But I'm desperate for someone to film them doing their performance, but there's not anyone I can really ask. And I know Isaac won't ask anyone, but I'd love to have some footage of them two playing in the Scout Hall. I might well, if I can get my hands on anyone, say, can somebody video a wee bit and WhatsApp it to me? We'll see. If I do get it, I will include it later for you to see. Isaac won't wear a Scout shirt, he's going in all his regalia, so he's going to show off. Honest to God, he's at that age where it's all about appearances. So, yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, I shall speak to you probably at some stage tomorrow. Stars are descending, the street signs are far. I know you're right, I need to cry to feel alive. Hello! You pull me close and knock me down, and I'm there to come back around. I'm so addicted to your eyes. Whoa. So, it is, I can't put this on for very long because light at night when you're driving, not good. So I'm just setting off to pick up Isaac from Stephen's house to take the both of them to Scouts for their music night where they're playing guitar. Isaac went to Stephen's after school so they could practice. I'm obviously with Scouts and we're doing paper planes, the science of flight. How interesting. I'm taking the next 2 weeks off. 2 weeks time is Darren's birthday, so I want to take him out for a bite to eat somewhere. And next week I just don't fancy doing experiments, and I was the only Scout leader that was at work the entirety of December, and I was at work taking the Scouts to the City Hall last week and all of them were off, so I am having 2 weeks off. So yeah, Darren was well pissed off today. I'll just tell you the story before I let you go. He had to take Molly into the vets. Isaac wanted his guitar and amp left in at Stephen's because obviously he can't take a guitar and an amp and a school bag to school. Actually, I'm going to switch this off because it's a bit conspicuous when you're out. You just have to listen to me. So we said, can we drop this off when he's in at the vets rather than take another journey in, because we have to go in, I have to go in for Scouts, Darren has to go in. It's a 25-mile round trip, so that's 50 miles already. And can we bring it in when we're in at the vets in the morning, by 10:30, between 10:30 and 11, so that we don't have to go in twice? sorry, 3 times. Yeah, that's fine. Darren went in to Stephen's house, stood banging on the door for ages. Nobody came to the door. Ton of parcels, so obviously someone's still in bed or not in. And the upshot of it was Darren had to go in a second time to pick them up from school at 3:30 to take them to Stephen's house because nobody answered the door at the pre-planned time of the morning. So Darren was not happy. And now here's me going out again to get Stephen and Isaac to take them to this music night. But yeah, I'll be happy to get home again tonight. Tomorrow I want to go see the Bone Temple, the new 28 Days movie. I'm not expecting to love it because I just thought the last one was okay. But the main thing I was interested in the last one was... Is it right? Why? My camera's just taking a photo. I have no idea why. Right, I'm going to stop talking because it's dark and I'm sure you don't want to listen to me. Anyway, I shall catch up with you guys later. I might put the camera on for them two getting into the car outside Stephen's house, so you can see the fucking state of him. He's not going in his uniform. He has to wear all of his gear. It's like, oh fuck, Isaac, for God's sake. Right, anyway, I shall return to Miss Gaga, and I shall talk to you guys later. Drive up in yet. I'm about 8 minutes early, so I'll pull up just behind myself here. Stephen's house, it's lovely. Really nice big posh house with a lovely garden. 101 ways to feel like a gypsy. I'm sure every friend Isaac's got's got a lovely house compared to us. Yep, so here I am. Better put that on the floor because Isaac will be getting in. Yeah, I'll just wait here until 7 and then I'll drive in. Pick them up. Oh god, I hate this uniform so much, honestly. I have to finish off. We've got a list of stuff I have to do in Scouts tonight. I have to look for the remaining gift aid forms and give them to Marcus, get an address off Eugene, get a cub address off Eugene and his own address for the gift aid form. I have to sort something out about badges, and I have to go round the kids to ask questions for 2 different challenge awards, personal and skills. I might not get that done tonight, we'll see. It will depend on it just depends on how busy we are, really. So yeah, nothing much else is happening. I was saying I'm going to see, hopefully, depending on how I feel, the Bone Temple tomorrow night. It's the latest in the 28 Days saga. I really enjoyed the first 2 28 Days movies. I think the last one was kind of mediocre, and this one I'm expecting much of the same. But the thing I was most interested in the last one was, is it Ralph Fiennes or Rafe? Anyway, Ralph Fiennes his character and the background of his character. I found that aspect really interesting, and I think that is partly what this is about. He's the main star of this movie, so that's good. I'm hoping that's a positive thing. So we charged the car to 100%, like I said we were going to. It's sitting on 50 at the minute and it's 97, so I think Darren said at 100% it was 180 something miles. So that'll get us to Dublin, and it will get us, hopefully after Dublin, back to some sort of place to charge for the rest of the journey. Before going to 80%, I don't think would have even got us to Dublin, so that's an improvement, I suppose. But yeah, I'll try and see if I can get a little bit of footage tonight of something, even if it's Scouts flying their paper planes to see who goes furthest. Exciting stuff, folks, riveting stuff. I shall yeah, you'll get little sporadic pieces of video following.
Right, I'm gonna have to put this like on my lap here.
Okay. What
Because
is it?
there's gonna be no room whatsoever.
Oh, Stephen's got the full back seat.
Yeah.
Can you not put 2 in the back seat?
No, it's fine here. I'm I'm have to sit like this.
That's dangerous, Isaac.
You're not gonna crash.
Well, I'm not going to crash. Put your seatbelt on, please. Yep.
Do we want him?
Hi.
Hey, Steve.
Did I close that door right?
I think so.
6, 7!
Yeah, we're just waiting on Isaac's seatbelt. Can you not put one leg either side of that?
I can't.
So your
This is the
knees
best I
aren't
got.
up.
This is the best I can do.
Right, okay. Well, put the seat back a little bit.
6, 7! No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What are you playing?
Songs.
Have you decided what yet?
Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, I don't know any of that.
Unholy Conversions. It's a very good song.
Fucking stay at my head. Hang on, I'm trying to. There we go. Hello. Apologies about the state of my face. I know I always say this, but I need to wash my hair. I'm too sore to get my head down to wash it. I'm gonna have to do it tonight, whether I want to or not. I haven't put any makeup on. I've just been getting from day to day at the minute because I'm struggling with the old fibro in a big way. Here comes Darren. Had a right fucking, well, no, I'm not going to say I had a right ding dong with Isaac last night because I didn't get a chance, and I'll explain to you why. So Stephen and Isaac went, I must ask Marcus, he still hasn't sent me that clip. They went to Scouts on Friday night and they did their music night. We did our paper plane night. And then he was due to be staying at Stephen's, so I was taking them home after. And went home, stopped at the shop, I got them some sweets and a drink, dropped them off, in they went, and as we were going they said, oh, can I have a double sleepover? Meaning, can I stay Friday and Saturday night? Now, there's no particular reason why not, because we're not doing anything, so I said yes. Now, Isaac has one rule when he's out. If I phone you or message you, reply to me, because he knows I worry. And we had expressed previously, there's this park.
Well, I told him not to.
I was in it when I was a teenager, but never at night time, because at night time, as with a lot of places, parks are where older teens congregate and drink and take drugs and stuff. And I'd said to him, I don't want you in that park at night. No, I didn't say that. I said it's not a good idea to be in that park. But Darren apparently told him not to go in it. Anyway, that's not the main thing I'm cross about, by the way. So hopefully you can hear me with a travel noise to tell you this. So he gets told off if he's not answering his phone. He has a tendency to not answer his phone. At one point when they were in Cargan, Stephen even videoed Isaac turning up the volume, blah blah blah, because his dad always says he doesn't, so they're trying to prove a point. Anyway, how that's relevant to this weekend, I have no idea. I'm going to be talking loud because when I was editing last week, my voice was really quiet with the travel noise. I need to get that mic sorted. Well, not sorted, I need to remember to put it on the phone. So yesterday, about 1:30 in the afternoon, when I was crawling out of bed, because yes, that's the time I've been crawling out of bed, I sent 2 WhatsApps. The first one was to tell him to respond to a poll that Explorers had sent out. The second one was to say, if Stephen wants to join Explorers, tell him not to let the physical stuff put him off, because he doesn't have to do all that stuff. He just can go to whatever he wants to, because Stephen's got a heart condition and he like doesn't do PE in school and stuff like that. And when Marcus, the leader, was asking, well, do you think you want to join? He was like, but that was just after Marcus had been talking about dodgeball tournament, and obviously Stephen can't do that kind of stuff. So the second one was to say, remember to tell Stephen he doesn't have to do all that stuff, he can just come to the stuff he wants to. So left that, it double white tick, it meant it went through, which means he was in Stephen's house, and I thought, right, they're maybe in bed because they've been up all night. Left it until about, I don't know, 3:30 maybe, and I sent a third text, and I thought they won't be like in bed at 3:30, and I said, you up, you okay? 1 white tick. Now that means it hasn't been delivered, which means Isaac's not in the house and he doesn't have his mobile data on. So I left that until, what time was it? Just before 6.
Time after 6 o'clock.
I sent a text because I knew the text would go through. He ignored that. I sent a second text. He ignored that. I think I sent either 2 or 3 texts. Then I phoned him. And as it went to voicemail, there was like a little, if any of you have experienced this, please tell me, there was like a little half second and I could hear his voice. I'm like, right. And I phoned him again about 15 minutes later, because by this stage I'm starting to think, shit, what's going on? Have them two gone to the park? It was dark. It was pissing it down. Have they gone out with their guitars busking? Stephen looks about 10. I phoned him again. And given that we have told him you must be contactable, I'm getting worried now. So, because I know it's dark and I know the shopping centres are shut at this stage, so yes, it was 6 o'clock, because I thought to myself, shopping centre shuts at 5:30. So I phoned him a second time and it went to voicemail really, within 4 rings, and his phone usually rings for ages, but when it says, it doesn't say you've been sent to voicemail, but it says something that means the caller, basically, he pressed the button to send it to voicemail. So by this stage, I'm a mixture of cross and concerned. So Darren phones him, goes to voicemail. Then Darren sends another text. What did it say? I suggest I'm going to come in and pick you up or something. He ignored that. So there were 3 WhatsApps, 3 texts from me, a text from Darren, a phone call from Darren, and 2 phone calls from me. Nothing. Then all of of a sudden, the third WhatsApp that I'd sent that had one tick got two, and all of the text messages that said it delivered below them. Now, what I don't understand is text messages go through regardless of whether you're in the house or not, so that doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, the WhatsApp, and I thought, right, that's them back in Stephen's house now. So I phoned again and answered the phone. I says, where are you? I'm at Stephen's. I says, yeah, you've just walked in Stephen's just now. Yeah, well, we were, and it turns out they were in the park, which I'd asked them not to be in. Now, what really irked me was the fact that when I was saying to Isaac, what did I tell you about blah, 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 and you sent me the voicemail twice. Stephen's in the background. Now, obviously, he's put me on speakerphone. No, I didn't hear his phone ring. It's really genuinely but it didn't. I swear he didn't. It was in his pocket, and we didn't hear it ring, so he couldn't have sent you to voicemail. He didn't do anything because I watched him, and I can even send you the video that I took proving that he turns the time we were in Cargan. I'm thinking, why does that mean anything that he turned it up the time they were in Cargan? And no matter what I said to Isaac, Stephen's piping up in the background.
So what was he doing on his phone in the park?
But then he said to me he was on Snapchat, and I'm thinking, you can't have been in Snapchat because then you would have... I said, well, what about all the notifications of all the messages and missed calls? I didn't see them. I said, right, let's ignore the fact you didn't answer the phone. Let's ignore the fact that you didn't see all these messages. I said, I sent you 2 WhatsApps before you left Stephen's house today. You haven't even read them. Oh, well, I forgot to check my phone. Now, Stephen's in the background constantly piping up, telling me I should text Isaac's mum, or his mum. I says, no, Isaac's got a phone, I don't need to be texting your mum. Now, I couldn't let rip, and I couldn't properly argue, because I can't say to someone else's kid, you're talking out your arse. Shut up, this is not your discussion. So I couldn't get a proper discussion with Isaac about this, because he's in the background. I swear. But Isaac has a habit of telling you that he has got his phone turned up. I have, look, and he's turning the volume up on the side. But if you go into his settings, he's turned it right down, and he'll argue black as white, but won't listen to you. And I said, Isaac, you're 14. I says, you cannot be away from the house for 48 hours, going out in the dark and not be contactable. I said, it's not good enough. I says, we need to get this sorted. That's when he piped up about contacting his mum, which I'm not going to be phoning somebody's mum. All I want is a text to say everything's alright, and that's fine. I don't phone him. I send him a quick message so that he can just text back, all okay, and that's it. I don't want to embarrass him, but when he ignores 5 messages, and he's done this constantly, we've told him off for it, I've explained why, because Isaac's not got any common sense and he makes bad decisions. He looks alternative, and Stephen looks like a child. There are certain types of people that go out round that park that are just waiting for someone to jump on, basically.
It's a chaff park. It's like an emo, so he's going to be a target.
He doesn't understand safety and things like this. He thinks I over worry, and it's like, Isaac, you're not 18, you're 14. And like I say, Stephen, like Darren said last night, they're not going to pick on Stephen because he looks like a child, but Isaac looks older than he is. So he's going to have a talking to today. I won't get a proper chance, but I am not happy. And what do you do? It's like, what is the answer to it? But the main thing I'm really fucked off at is Stephen in the background piping up constantly and me not being able to... what business is it of Stephen's to be interrupting with an... I wouldn't have dreamed.
Why are they filming it? To prove what?
Yeah, to prove that at one point several months ago he turned up his volume. Well, that proves that... It's like, no matter what but because I was so cross and because Stephen wouldn't shut the fuck up, my brain didn't think to say, right, let's say you didn't hear the phone. Let's say, because the main point that Stephen kept making was the phone did not ring, we did not hear it, and he certainly did not send you the voicemail because when we were walking home from the park, we didn't hear the phone ring.
And he's been told about putting his volume up, and it must be. And he even argued me that time he was in the room. I said, right.
I'm going to phone him when he gets in the car without telling him what I'm doing.
I have turned it up. I said, are you going to answer that? He went, what? And I took my phone out of the pocket. I said, I'm ringing you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe my volume's down. I said you just argued for 5
But anyway,
minutes, you
even
turned
if the volume is, even if Stephen was being truthful, which I don't know,
up. Bollocks.
the point is, I sent him multiple messages, and if he knows I worry, if he's got in trouble about this before, and if it's a big issue, is it difficult at one point in the day to send me a text just checking in, let you know everything's alright?
So look at the notifications on your phone.
All he had to do was look at his notifications and he would have seen. He knows it's a big deal to me. Maybe people think I'm being, overly worried, but some of the things you hear that happen to people, where my parents live, just out the back of where my parents live, I don't know, let's guess 10 years ago, something like that, I don't know. A young lad, teenager, got beat to death, and it's not a bad area, don't get me wrong, where my parents live is not a bad area, but he was a Catholic, it was a group of Protestants, they were all in the cinema. I think maybe he was wearing a Celtic shirt or something. Is that right? Okay, so he was wearing a football shirt that signified he was Catholic. They chased him from the cinema to this out the back of where my parents live. A group of them gave him a kicking, and one of them went back home to get a baseball bat, came back out, and they beat him to death. And Isaac wonders why I worry when he's out looking like emo, because we live like in a country bumpkin type area. There's very few. There are some that it has like a small alternative. Like when I was a kid, there was no one. I was like a weirdo.
All the teens look identical.
Over here, like if you're Catholic, all the boys look like GAA, sort of like same haircut. They all wear sports clothes, tracksuits, and the other kids just all look the same. Nobody looks remotely different. Oh shit, I told him I'd text him before I left and I forgot. This is a good one to say.
Well, we'll see how he likes it.
Well, I did say we'll be there about 2:45 or 10 to.
There you go then.
But he looks like he looks, and when you're groups of wanker teenage boys, you're looking for an excuse to give somebody a pasting. And if he is ignoring or advice to not go into that park at night, I don't mind him going in it during the day, that's fine. But he's going in it at night time. And these type of people, you know what I mean? And it's just him and one boy, there's no other way of putting it. But I was not happy at all, because it's like, I need to be able to trust you. If he knew what my fucking upbringing was, I had a curfew of 9 o'clock until I was 18. I wasn't allowed to go out with my mates when they went to like discos. Yeah, I'm saying discos, how old am I? But like local hotels would have like basically nights with, what do you call that? What is it? Disco sounds so old fashioned. It's not a rave, but it was like, just somewhere groups of people, generally teens, even though you shouldn't be until you're 18, went to. But my mates went. I wasn't allowed to go because I wasn't illegally the age. Even though then I found out that my mum went to the Flamingo round the corner from she was 16. Oh, I had such a strict upbringing. And Isaac, all he gets asked is, please be contactable if I need to speak to you. Have your phone on, have your notifications on, check your phone. That's the only thing we ask of him. That and keep your room tidy, and he can't do either of the two. Right, we're just pulling into Stephen's house now, so we'll switch you off.
Can't even brush his teeth. We're going back on that again.
I'll check in with you later on. Hello. I don't know if this is, there's no steam or anything. Right, I've just washed my hair and I'm going to try something. I don't think I'm going to do it here, but this thing where you wrap your hair. Basically, my hair's not dry yet. It's washed. I've left it for a few hours in a, what do you call those fleece things that you put your hair under to dry. And I'm going to do this thing where you take a section of hair. This maybe isn't a good idea because it's maybe going to take ages. And you wrap it around, and then the next time you take another section of hair and you wrap that around, and you try and keep this. And every time you come back, you take another bit of hair. If this is making sense, I can't really see what I'm doing. I should be doing this in a mirror. Oh no, hang on. And the idea is when you get up in the morning out of bed, you're supposed to have curls. I'm going to put this on first. I bought this. It's supposed to like bring out waves or curls in your hair. When I was a teenager, I used to have quite wavy, wavy hair, but now it's just frizzy. I think it's just from years of dyeing, to be honest. It's just really, really shit condition. But yeah, I've watched this on YouTube. You put this thing near the front of your head and then you just keep taking sections of hair, wrap one around, bring it back, take another bit, wrap it around, and then just keep going until, oh that's quite a big bit, you have done all of your hair. So I'll talk while I'm doing this. So I spoke to Isaac about the thing. Of course, he had 101 excuses, but we checked his phone and he hasn't processed an update in years. There's all these updates. I don't know if that's going to work because it's coming right from the back. We'll have let that go now. His texts weren't going through. Is there any more at that side? Right, I think the rest's at the other side. So let's just do that like that. I just need to tie a knot or something on this to like, how do we, right, let's just do this for now. So I have to test the text again today. He doesn't understand the concept of what, you know, mobile data is proper. Oh, this is going to be really hard on this side. I don't know why. It just feels all kind of alien trying to do this on this side. Is it because it's the left side? I don't like it. I can't figure out. I'm watching and this is just back to front, if that makes sense. So I'm trying everything I can. What way does it go? I can't think. To make my hair not frizzy. You can see how this hair coming from the back now. I don't see how this works, you know what I mean? Because this is going to be right down here. Unless I, hang on. Oh God, I bet Susie's laughing her arse off at me. Susie's a hairdresser. I'm trying to concentrate, people. It's the other side was really easy, I think, because it's this a side I'm used to. Well, not that I'm used to doing anything with my hair, because I'm not. Just trying to take from further up this time as well. But I've got hair that's further up and I've got hair that's at the front here. That bit's way too thick. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen with this, guys. I have no idea, because I feel like I'm making a right royal mess of things here at the minute. I mean, that's come all the way down from there. No, this side's not right at all. How much have I got left? Should that be at the other side? No, I think it should be this side. Oh God. Why has it gone so wrong? This has nearly run out, this bit. So yeah, we tried to explain the difference between, he seemed to think he needed mobile data on to get a text message, and I'm trying to explain to him, Isaac, text messages are nothing to do with the internet. Let me try and wrap that around it. I'm not doing it right now, I'm just trying to wrap it any fucking shape to get it wrapped. To be honest, like that bit is not gonna, I'm hoping that if there are any curls, any bits that don't curl, I'll just get, I've got like tongs. I just don't want to be tonguing my entire head. A few years ago I wouldn't have been able to do this because my hair was way too thick. Right, so could I take this out and then tie these both together? Or is that not going to work? If I let this go, oh fuck, I can't. So I've let it go and it's all going to come out on that side. I can't see what way I've tied this. Right, I'm going to stop you for a minute. Alright, I'm all tied up. How right it is or how wrong it is, I've no idea, but it's all tied up. I will let you see tomorrow. But knowing my luck, it will be a frizzy mess. And I'm trying not to wash my hair too much because it upsets my scalp and it washes all my colour out. So I'm not due to go back to the hairdressers, I think, until the 2nd of Feb. And we're now on the 19th. No, I think we're on the 21st of January. And you can see how much grey has grown out now. So yeah, I went to my dad's today. I watched Of Mice and Men, the movie, because I read, I don't know if I've told you or not, I put it on Facebook. I sat down to read Isaac's Of Mice and Men book on Thursday night or Friday night, and I basically read the whole thing straight through. It's really quick. It's not a long book. It's very quick and easy to read. And I'm like quite shocked they're studying it. And when I put it on Facebook, so many people said they studied it at school too. And I'm quite shocked because obviously there's the N word all the way through, and it is of its time, and it is how things were. But there's so much. There's the F word, the B word, there's loads of talk of like whorehouses and prostitution, and I'm like, I was quite shocked that it's something that was chosen to be on the GCSE syllabus. I would expect Dickens or Shakespeare or something. We did Shakespeare and I fucking hated it. It's so dull. Dickens I love because I just think the language is so poetic and beautiful. But I was quite surprised at Steinbeck. So yeah, I've read the thing, I know it, so anything that comes up for it I can test them on now because I know I've read the book. So today I went to my dad's, I watched the movie. A movie is really close to the book. Gary Sinise is in it. He plays, the two characters are basically, I'm not going to go into the story, but there's sort of like intelligent, smaller, sort of like more delicately made up guy who is with his, I think they're cousins, they're related anyway, and his relation's called Lenny, and he's this big lumbering, strong, you know, basically can kick the shit out of you in one punch, but he's got the mind of a child. He's like mentally disabled basically, and it keeps getting them into trouble everywhere they go. It's set years ago. They're going from ranch to ranch trying to work, and Lenny keeps doing something through no fault of his own. He doesn't understand, and the film is basically their story. So I think John Malkovich plays Lenny, and I didn't really like the casting. Obviously, having read the book first, you get an idea in your mind of who you feel the character is. And while I felt Gary Sinise, who I love, I think he's a brilliant actor. He's really good as George, but I didn't like John Malkovich as Lenny. It was a really good film and it did stick close to the book, but I don't know. I know Lenny was white, but I had pictured somebody like John Coffey in that role. You know, someone a very sympathetic character that you really connected with. And I didn't feel that connection with Lenny that I felt when I read the book, where some of the things that he does are fucking awful, but you sort of like, it's palatable because he doesn't understand and because he's just this big soft lump, and you feel so sorry for him reading the book. I didn't feel that translated too well in the movie, but maybe that's just me. Love is Blind Germany has finished. I watched the reunion tonight, so there's no more Love is Blind for me right now. I'm living for Traitors at the moment, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday nights. I'm not at Scouts this Friday night, which is amazing, so I'll be able to watch it live, yay. Isaac's going to dodgeball with Explorers. I'm having a couple of weeks off because I've sent the completed gift aid form through to the treasurer, so now he has to do what needs to be done. Please God he does it, and we don't lose any more money. It's not my money, I shouldn't give a shit, but it just seems a real shame with all the work that it should go to waste. Anything else to tell you? No, but my dad's as usual, he can't hear a word I'm saying. When I go in, it's so hard to talk to him because his nose is either in the newspaper or he's watching some shit on the TV, like a western with John Wayne and the usual, or Ray Harryhausen Sinbad films, which I don't mind those. But the volume is so loud that it gives you a headache and you can't hear yourself think. I can't tell you how loud it is. And I'll be sitting like talking this loud and I'll raise my voice and he won't hear a word I'm saying. I have to actually shout. And it's really tiring when he can't hear you and, you know, you can't get a conversation going. But I can't think of anything else of note to tell you. Next week, we were meant to be having a trustees meeting for Scouts, which isn't going ahead, thank Christ. Isaac wants to go to the cinema in Belfast next week to see Silent Hill 2, which I also want to see, but obviously me and Darren have to go ourselves and see that because it's not cool to go with your parents now. They want to go traipsing about Belfast, so they have to work out trains and stuff. I said, Isaac, I am not driving up. He wants to do that for his birthday. I says, what, go to Belfast? Yeah, just go around HMV and stuff. And I'm like, fuck. So I have to still get him his main birthday present, which is going to be a portable amp, like a, what's the word? Like a rechargeable battery amp for his guitar so that he can take it out and about. Next big thing coming up is Motionless in White in Dublin. Motionless in White as a band seem to copy a lot of other bands and their style. They started really heavy, a bit too heavy for my liking to be honest, and then they did this era which sounds just like Marilyn Manson. So I really like that era because I like Marilyn Manson as the musician, not so sure as the person, all the stuff that's come out. Manson and Rob Zombie are touring across America with The Who, not WHO, HU, The Who as support. That would be such an amazing gig to see. But I went to see Marilyn Manson once and I was so disappointed. Now, I don't know in retrospect, was it the venue, which was Nottingham Arena? And it was, no, was it? Or was it Manchester? I can't remember, Darren will know. But my car broke down on the way and something went with the alternator and we were just limping into the car park when it went, and I knew the whole way through this gig that I was going to have to call the AA when we came out. We didn't know how long we'd be, what was going to happen, so I was sitting in tenterhooks through the whole thing. We were seated, which isn't great for atmosphere a lot of the time, so I'm not sure how much of that was me, and I don't know. But yeah, nothing, revision's back in earnest. I've done a timetable for the next 3 weeks. Then he's got his CM3s. And then he has got, at the end of Feb, he's got part of his GCSE science, is the chemistry. And then in May, he's got 60% of his history GCSE and maybe 40% of his maths GCSE. It's quite high. It's scary potatoes. So yeah, I'll stop wittering on here. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll catch up with you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye. Okay. Oh god, it's the next morning. This is what I look like when I'm really insanely tired. So I'm just putting this in the end of this vlog rather than making you wait to the next week, even though we're on Monday morning. It's not good when you don't know how you put these things in. Can't see how I've tied it. Right, there we go. Right, let's see what we've got. This has been on maybe longer than it should have been. Oh Jesus, I'm gonna end up like fucking one of them dolls. Well, I can't say it hasn't curled it. But then again, what you say, it's probably done nothing at all at the back. And I'll have curly hair around the sides. So I'll have to wash my hair again. Which I really hope not, because I am so fucking tired. The lengths we go to, yeah. Right, let's, you know what I need? A really wide comb, which I had in my Christmas thing, and I don't know where it is. Right, I'm going to poke with this and see if I can make it any better. Right, I did what they said not to do and brushed it because it was so like tight curly. It's still, I hate it. I hate it. So I'm gonna put some of this, what is it, Frizz No More. Not that that'll fucking work, believe me. Look at this ball of frizz. It's like, I just want a nice wave in my hair, and my hair never holds curl, so I thought by doing that I'd get a nice wave, not a frizzy monstrosity. I've got this as well, it's a spray. That's a lot of point washing your hair in it if you put all this shit in it. Alright, it's pulled most of them curls out, but it still looks ridiculous. Hopefully it'll just like fall into normal bit of wavy hair in the next few days. Right, let me show you the magic that is this stuff. I got mahogany. Right. If you go on greys, then I have to clean my face off, obviously. Oh no, I don't usually do that. Obviously, if I was doing this in a mirror, it wouldn't look like that. Can't see what I'm doing in this tiny little phone screen. But you can see that's taken away greys, can't you? Let's clean it now. Right, that's it, finished. My face cleaned, my hairspray on, and I hate it. I hate it. It looks shit. Maybe it'll look better if I put some makeup on, but that bit's not properly curled. No. Me no likey. Right, let's get ourselves up and get some breakfast.